In the second video of this leasing series, we will cover steps 3 and steps 4. Step 3 is the process that explains the benefits of virtual tours and how you can conduct them. Next, we're going to discuss step 4 of how you can implement self-showings during your leasing process. So let's find out. Now let's say you go through this process and you actually have a prospective renter that's found the property online. How are they able to tour the property? Let's say you're not in that area, or let's say something's going on and you don't have access to get them in at that time. What are some ways that they can do that, making sure that they're safe, making sure the property's taken care of, and have some form of virtual showing?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question. I think more than ever, there's this interest in, virtual leasing. Mynd has actually been pioneering virtual leasing for a while now, and there's a lot of different ways that you can activate virtual leasing. So one thing is self-bookings and self-showings. So an interested renter can go on the site, and instead of having someone call and be like and schedule and see whether the schedules sync, the calendar's already available. The unit is available during this time. They can go in there. It's very frictionless. They book themselves a showing. There's a ID verification. So the way Mynd does it is we make sure we have the person's ID. We know exactly who's going in the property. We send them a code. The code's temporary. Basically, they go and they do their own self-showing. There's a lot of studies that actually show that self-showings are very effective. They actually increase the conversion rate of a prospective renter to a tenant because the renter doesn't feel that kind of anxiety and that pressure from the salesperson. They can also, a lot more renters see the property because schedules don't have to sync up. Like there's just like not a lot of friction. So a great property management company will always offer that as an option. Mynd does in-person showings as well, but we actually just have a lot of data that shows that self-showings and self-bookings really increase the rate of conversion from a prospective renter to an actual tenant. There's also 3D tours that you can do, video and 3D tours that also give some renters who are maybe out of state, the ability to actually see the property, and otherwise, they wouldn't be able to see it. So there's a lot of different ways to do it, but virtual leasing is definitely, the future of leasing.
Yeah, and I think it just goes to show that you're getting more eyeballs to the property. And then if they want to see the property, you're utilizing technology that they can see it whenever they want. Maybe they work the graveyard shift. Maybe they're opposite. Maybe they want to see it on the weekend. And sometimes if you're dealing with just a realtor, that can be the limiting factor of you getting your property rented based on their availability and their schedule. So as you said earlier, it takes the friction out and it takes another elbow out that could be the limiting factor to you getting your property rented, number one, and more importantly, you getting income coming into that property, because the sooner you get it rented, the sooner you're making revenue. Now, when people have a self-showing, is it safe for the renters? And what about property damage for the owners? How does that work?
Steve, that's a really great question. It's completely safe on both sides. So how the process works is that the renter will need to submit a copy of their ID and other verification, credit card. And as a property management company, at least here at Mynd, the way we do it is we hold that. We then send a code to the renters. It's a temporary code. They go to the property. There's a smart lock that recognizes that code. They get access in the property. We know exactly who and at what time the property is being visited at. And then after they see the property, then the code expires. And so everything is tracked, and everything has, information trail to go with it. So the owner doesn't need to worry about that. It's very convenient for the renters as well. They know that, when they go, it's at their convenience. They book the time. They can go in and out at their pleasure. They don't have to feel like they need to stay a little bit longer if it's not right for them, etc. So it's a very easy and safe process for both sides.
So we discussed how virtual tours and self-showings can really give you a leg up during the leasing process. Your rental advertisement can stand out from others by giving the opportunity to view the property in a variety of different ways. In our next video, we're going to talk about the screening of prospective tenants and lease agreements. If you want to learn more, go to our website at mind.co. It's mynd.co. Thank you for watching.